everybody. Welcome to Cub Chat Live, my favorite time of the week. And boy, have I missed you guys. We were talking just before this about how much we miss having Cub Chat Live. So it's so good. First show of the year. Happy New Year. I have with me one of my Cub Scout besties, Sydney. Hey, Sydney, how are
Hi,
you?
Tamara. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Woo. I'm really excited about this show. I hope you are too, Sydney.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. So we have some of our viewers already tuned in. I see Melissa Edens. You can hide behind your at Live Love Scouting, but I know it's you, Melissa. And she, amazingly creative leader. Excited to have her with us. Rusty, I always get excited to see you. We were talking about you. Like we're always good to see you first because I worry if you're not on first. And then Alexander from Pack 220, Lee Summit. Welcome back to 2026. Yes, Alexander, I am really stoked. So today's show, I think, as a leader, is so appropriate, right? So you go through the holidays, and I don't know about y'all, but my holidays were crazy. They always are super fun. But then you come back into January and like, whoa, I got to get my act back together again. I need to re-energize and be excited and like bring it again. Bring it with the passion, right? And so today's
Absolutely.
show, Sydney, is all about your Cub Scout New Year's resolutions. And so we're going to go through some Cub Scout New Year's resolutions. And I see Wendy. Hey, Wendy. Good to see you. Pack 38 and Troop 38. Happy New Year. Jennifer Brandon from Pack 5391 in Madison, Georgia. And then hello from Pack 597 in Amityville, PA. Hey, I'm in PA. It's good to have you here with us today. So I want you guys to be thinking about what your Cub Scout New Year's resolutions, because Sydney and I would love to hear what you guys are going to do and what you're thinking your resolutions are going to be. We're going to share with you some of the ones that we came up with. And then also, I know you guys have friends, tag people. I think people need to come on and they need to like be with us and share with us some of their resolutions. Maybe they'll get inspired to get re-energized again and bring it for their packs and their dens. So, Sydney, what have you got in mind for us today?
So, Tamara, when we've been talking, kind of catching up over the new year and everything, it's just really stuck with me, that whole idea of making New Year's resolutions and what is at the core of a New Year's resolution. And it's the Cub Scout motto. It's do your best. And that's what we want to do. And that's what we want our leaders to do and our Cub Scouts to do. And so we've come up with kind of 5 big core New Year's resolutions that all involve doing our best to be the best Cub Scout leaders that we can be. So how about we jump into our first one? Does that sound good?
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
What's number one? Or
So
I guess, are these in order of importance or they just kind of like as we go? They just are like 5, they're all important.
They're in the order of this is how it made sense because it's fun and we're going to do it this way. They're all equally important. They're all super important.
Awesome.
So the first one is possibly the most important one, but it's utilizing the resources to make planning simple. So we want to, as leaders, we want to make sure that we're using the resources that exist and that we're pointing the other leaders that we're working with towards these leader resources that are already available that take so much stress and guesswork and time planning that just takes it away, because we have online pack meeting plans for the required adventures that let you get all of the pack meeting and all of the kids in the pack, all of the scouts, they can all earn that required adventure and so many of the elective adventures. I mean, we're coming up on Pinewood Derby season, right? And if you go on, use this QR code, go online and go to the pack meeting resources, the pack meeting plans, and there is a pre-made pack plan for in one pack meeting, you can earn with all of your ranks, you can earn race time by doing a Pinewood Derby. It's something that we're all probably doing. And so let's make it simple. Let's take some of that stress off of our den leaders and our cub masters and use those resources. And if you know about them and you've used them, share them with other leaders who maybe they're new, maybe they haven't tried them out yet. Maybe you have a sister pack or a brother pack or a pack down the road, and you hear about their Pinewood Derby, and you want to share this information with them, that, hey, did you know that there's this really great resource online that gives you all of this information and breakout stations and supply lists and everything? So make it simple. Use those resources and share those resources.
I love that. I love that, because I feel like, we know from a survey that we recently did that only 50% of our den leaders even know that the den meeting resources exist. So the leader resources came out like a year later. So the leader resources that Sydney's talking about, the pack planners, those are great for multi-level dens. I know a bunch of y'all have that, right? You have a tiger, 2 bears, and a wolf in a den, and you're trying to figure out how do you do that? How do you put it all together? And yeah, you may be super creative, like I know Melissa Edens is, for example, but you may not have time to figure it all out. You don't have to. You could go to the pack planner for that particular all the required adventures and all of the elective adventures that cross ranks. So think of it like swimming. We've got race time, regatta, race time for Pinewood Derby. So all the
cycling and fishing.
Right. All the things that cross the ranks, right? It's all there. And there's a lot of other great resources. You're a committee chair. There's a tab for you there. There's one for the Cub Masters. That's where the pack planners live. There's all kinds of resources in here. There's videos to walk you through things. I'm going to do a couple more shout outs while we have them. I see Scouter FG. Happy New Year from Three Fires Council. Been waiting for this to get back on. Me too. I've been going through withdrawals. Come chat live withdrawal. Melissa, it's good to see you. I need to know where to order the cookies from and how to do it. Perfect. The leader resources, Melissa, is a great place to start, along with the den meeting resources. We're going to go through a couple things, Melissa, that might really help you. Todd, hi from Troop 601, Farmingdale, New York, Assistant Scoutmaster. Thank you for showing up, Todd. Thank you for being on. Alexander, I agree. Let's go. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Okay, so we've got the leader resources, and I know we've talked a little bit about the den meeting resources. So, and you guys hopefully all know where those are located. So those are up there on scouting.org as well under Cub Scouts. You scroll down the page, den meeting resources. Those are going to give you your activities for the requirements. What else should people know about, Sydney?
So speaking of those awesome activities, we want to make sure that our leaders that do your best, that's for leaders too. Tamara, I don't know about you, but there are times when I want to be so extra, and I custom make everything, and I have, glitter and hot glue, and my house is a disaster because I'm hand making a million things for all of my scouts. And then there are other days where I realize at the last second, oh my gosh, I have a den meeting tonight, and my kid's been sick all week, and my pet was just made a huge mess, and I have to pull this together. And it's okay. Our second resolution is that do your best is for leaders too. And if that means that you are doing extra, that's awesome. And if that means that you are doing the best that you can, that's awesome. We appreciate you. And one of the really cool things that's on those activities online, and it's also on the cards, there are some nodes or some icons on those cards that at a glance will let you know how much time it takes to do that activity. And so for a den leader who has lots of time and lots of skills or wants to try a new thing, you're looking for those 5s, those 4s. That means, you're going to be extra. You're going to go to Hobby Lobby and Michael's and Home Depot and all of the places to do all of the things. And that's awesome. But if your kid got sick and your pet made a mess and you burned dinner and you're freaking out and everything's just getting away from you, that's okay too. That's why we have cards. That's why we have activities that have 1s and 2s. It's very little or no supplies needed, no prep time. It is a grab and go thing. All of those activities, they're all thought out. They all have supply lists. They all walk you through exactly what to do for each activity for all of the requirements. And so it's really easy to either print that off, or if you have the Dendex, to take that Den card and either hand it to maybe another parent and say, hey, next week, I really need you to do this activity for me. Or maybe there's a game that you want to hand off to your den chief and say, okay, here's a stack of paper plates. You're going to run the paper plate relay game, and you hand it off to them. You can do that with a print off from the internet too. All of those activities are online, and it's there to be easy for den leaders to do and to accomplish, to do your best.
So I love that, because I think a lot of times when people go through the den meeting resources, they may not realize that when we put those together, we specifically designed for that in mind, because we are den leaders too. We know how it goes, right? And some days you're like, I call it the 4 trips to Home Depot, or 4 trips to Michael's in your case, kind of like moment, right? Where we feel extra, and it's so exciting and we love that. And then we have that fly by the seat of your pants moment, right? Where you're like, oh my goodness, everything has gotten away from me this week, and I just need something to still do the activity, but maybe not at the same level that we always do it. And then we've got a moderate, the medium road. So we try to have 3 for every activity or for every requirement. So one thing to note about that is when you go through these, you might be thinking, wow, there's not 3 activities for this bear family and reverence requirement, for example. And so we actually have a project in right now going on where we've looked at all of the gaps where we don't have 3, where we need to have 3. So if it's one that says go camping, obviously we're not going to have 3 different options. Go camping, because that's just go camping. But if it's something that would benefit from 3, then we have a project underway. You may be seeing Sarah's always posting out, asking for people to give ideas on different things, and different people have submitted things. So if you're one of those people who've submitted your awesome idea, we so appreciate you. And we're in the process, yay, massive hearts for you. We are in the process of getting all that stuff put onto the website. So we really appreciate you. So we'll have more activities even coming. So that's even more exciting. I'm going to do a couple more shout outs here. Jingle Studios Real. Now I like that. Like that makes it seem like legit, like super fun. Okay. Hello for Pack 66 in Aberdeen, New Jersey. Hello. Scouter Craig, Happy New Year from Pack 3256, Kent, Ohio. And Scouter FG says, how many of those are not position trained? You know, we're going to have a whole episode on that coming up soon about getting trained and the benefits of that. So that's probably a decent point. Todd, this is Cub Scouts, not Girl Scouts. Oh, I think he might be referring to a comment above. And then David Storm, hello from Pack 77 in Charlottesville, Virginia. Hi, David. It's so good to have you with us. Kim Salvo, it's good to see you. Hello from Big Apple District. Still wish the online leader guides had illustrations or photos of the projects, activities like the printed copies used to have. So Kim, we are in the process of working through that. We have graphics for a lot of those things and illustrations, and they have to work through our graphics department and then they get posted. So we are working on improving that, Kim. So thank you so much for that feedback. We really appreciate it. Affordably Crafty. Oh, I like this name too. Hello from Pack 61 in Norton, Massachusetts. This sounds like somebody you could go crafting with, Sydney.
I love it.
And Rob, definitely. Oh, Rob, it's good to see you. Packs 278 in Frisco, Texas. And Marshall Lovelet. Oh, he's one of our faves. Hello from Cub Scout Pack 54 in Barnstable, Massachusetts. Hello, Marshall. Okay, so we've gone through the Den decks. We've gone through the leader resources. Anything else we should know about?
So we talk all the time about how Cub Scouts is fun, simple, and easy. And Cub Scouts being fun really needs to be true, not just for the Cubs, but for the adults too. And that's a great way to get our parents involved and engaged and building a welcoming pack community. It keeps those parents coming back and wanting to step up, wanting to help out, wanting to maybe volunteer a little bit more, get more involved. So right now we are developing new resources, and they should be launching soon, that are focused on team building and kind of getting to know you games for our adult volunteers, for our adult leaders, and our parents. That way we're kind of doing some of those cool icebreakers that we do with our Cub Scouts, but letting our parents and adult partners get to know each other. So there are 2 that we tested out at the Seabase National Cub Scout Conference in December. The first one was the Common Ground Challenge, which I thought was awesome. You broke into small groups. They had 5 minutes.
Can I just stop you for just 1 second?
Absolutely.
So what I love about this is that what we found is that no matter what pack you're in, it seems like everyone has the same struggle. And that's engaging adults, right? Getting them even to respond. I saw a Facebook post earlier this week that people are just having problems getting their parents to even respond to an email, to a text message, to anything. Like they're really having a hard time communicating even with them. And then you take it to the next level and they're having a hard time getting them to step up and do anything, right? And so when we were talking about that as a team, what we really realized is that we need to have a community where it's really a family, right? We talk about making it welcoming. And that's what we see in the survey results too. Parents are asked, why didn't you stay? Why didn't you want to be a part of this pack? And they were constantly talking about how they didn't feel like they belonged. So that's sad because I know everyone I've met in scouting and Cub Scouts, especially, they're so welcoming and so nice. And so how can we as a team and at the national level help that? So we thought about, if you don't have someone on not everybody has a person within their unit that's like a natural born, like, oh, let me embrace people and get them working together. And so if you don't have a person like that naturally, there's some games and some different things we can put in place to help that. So I think what we're trying to do is we had some ideas for some team building games that were adult focused so that people could really get to know each other. And then by getting to know each other better, then that helps start that community, right? The family. And
Yes.
so I loved this because we took these games down to Seabase. We tell you about Seabase because we're hoping you're going to put it on your calendar for next year. We had a great time. And if any of our people that were there, I know Marshall was there. If any of our other people are here in the audience, we so loved meeting you and hanging out with you. And we so appreciated your time. We tested things out. So we tested these games out. And a lot of times on Cub Chat Live, when we're on, we'll say, well, we're soft launching this to you today so that you can have this stuff. So these two games that Cindy's talking about right now, we've written them up and they're going to the web team as well. So these will be under the fun and games section. So you'll be able to use these with your adults and hopefully help. Okay, now let me catch up on I'm going to catch up on our comments and then we're going to go, you can explain the first game because I loved both of these games. Okay, so we've got Bill Kirk from Troop 648B and 648G. I'm so glad you guys have both a girl and a boy. That's awesome. St. Louis, Missouri. Carlos and Amy Chris Gomez, Cub Scout Pack 78 in Edinburgh, Texas. And then Chance Delhomme, I love your name, and Go Cajuns. I figured it. Probably eating some good food down there in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm just saying, Troop 10. And Chad, oh, it's good to see you. Hi, Tamara. So glad Cub Chat Live is back. Me too. My New Year's resolution is to be able to watch more often. Yay, Chad. We're so excited that you're going to watch more often. All right. So tell us, I'm sorry, I interrupted you just explaining that first game. Explain the first game to us because they both had really different. The participants, when they went through this, they both loved these games equally, but for different reasons. So, okay. So this is the first one.
Absolutely. So this first game is called the Common Ground Challenge. You break up the participants into small groups and they have about 5 minutes to find 5 things that they have in common with each other. And they need to be deeper than just we're all here, we're all humans, we're all breathing. Like
we're all parents.
Exactly. They need to dig deeper because you're looking to find that common shared interest, that common history, something that connects everybody, that lets them start to build a deeper relationship with each other and a deeper understanding of each other. Because that's really, like Tamara said, that's really what these games and these activities are all about. It's getting your parents and your leaders to know each other and to be able to count on each other as friends in a community and not just as somebody that they see, once a month at the pack meeting.
And this was really cool because the things that people found out, so like, of course, we had these go-getters, right, down at Seabase. And the first group, I don't think anybody just ended at 5. They ended up getting 20 or 30. And it was unbelievable, the things that they had in common. And it was so cool because they kept going, right? It was interesting enough that they kept going. And the things they were finding out about themselves that they all had in common were very unusual, very interesting stuff. So that was the first game. That was awesome. They liked it because that coming up with that commonality. And that was very interesting. Okay, so what was the second game?
The second game is called Guess Who. You also broke up into small groups, and each small group had 3 questions that each individual person answered. So the first question was a surprising fact about themselves. The second was a bucket list item. And then the third was a hidden talent. So they wrote the answers to each of those 3 questions on a piece of paper, turned them into a leader. The leader shuffled all of the papers, and then the leader of the small group read each thing out loud, and the rest of the group tried to guess what, whose surprising fact was what.
So this was really
talent.
This was so funny because we had a husband-wife combo, and the wife, one of the things that the husband had put down, they had been married. I mean, they had been married a while. It wasn't like they were newlyweds. And she's like, I had no idea. So it was pretty funny because people were really putting down stuff that was very interesting. So we're going to play this game, right, Sydney?
Yes,
right
I think we should play it.
Yay, I'm excited.
We should do like a light demo, right? Like
a light demo. So we're not going to go through 3 and you guys, we're going to do 1, right? Just one cool fact about us.
Yes, but we need viewer participation. So everybody get ready.
I'm thinking, okay, I think this group is really smart. I think they're going to figure this out. Okay.
Probably.
So, all right. So you have to guess which cool fact belongs to Sydney and which one belongs to me. So the first fact is she's very allergic to poison ivy. B is her brother-in-law is the ambassador to Bangladesh. Or C, all of her kids are competitive dancers. So in the comments, you have to guess which fact is Sydney's and which fact is mine. Okay, we're going to give you a couple seconds. I think we've stumped them already. I don't see anyone posting. This is possible. I think they're so. Oh, Kim Salvo says, Kim, which one is for C? Is that Sydney or me? Okay, hold on. We've got Kim. She's given us part of the answer for Sydney. Okay, Sydney and Tamara poison ivy. Okay. Oh, Kim, A for Tamara. Okay. And okay, so we've got different answers all around. Okay, A for Sydney, B for Tamara. Okay, so all right. So, and Marshall, you're a cheater. No, okay. Marshall's not a cheater. Marshall's a friend of mine, so he actually knows. So, okay, so we're gonna unveil.
Drum roll.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Brian. You can bring up the next slide. Sydney, look at those angels of hers, and look at unbelievable. And what's really cool about Sydney is that earlier today when we were chatting, she had this bucket of like sequins because she's constantly hand sewing on every sequin onto her kids' costumes, and she has a dance recital next week, so she's so busy.
Yes.
So she's definitely the 45 trips to Michael's girl.
At least.
Absolutely. And then mine. So this is my brother-in-law, Brent Christensen, who was just last Friday, which was why we didn't have Cub Chat Live, because he was being sworn in Washington to be the newest ambassador to Bangladesh. And in his hand, is this. It's a bottle of Cub Scout Spirit. And so when I gave it to him, he always knows I'm extra and a little over the top, but but I was telling him, so first of all, we're standing by an original facsimile of the Declaration of Independence. We are in a room that had Thomas Jefferson's desk and the desk where they signed the Treaty of Versailles. It's at the State Department, and it's really impressive. But when I gave it to him, I said, I know his mother and father are no longer with us, and she was a Cub Scout Roundtable commissioner. And I said, I know she'd be so proud, and she would want you to take this Cub Scout spirit with you to your new assignment and do your best and to be kind always to people and, to help other people at all times and in all the things. And I said, so it seemed super appropriate. So we took the picture, and I told him I was going to share it with you guys today. So anyway, so that's our story. Fortunately, I'm not super allergic to poison ivy. That would be terrible.
Right.
So, all right. So now what are we going to do next?
So you were talking about Cub Scout spirit, And I think that's something that it's something that can segue into our fourth resolution. So our fourth resolution is to make sure that we're recognizing not only our Cub Scouts immediately when they earn their belt loop. We want to give them their belt loop right away, but we want to also recognize our adults, whether they're adults that are registered volunteers or whether they're parents that are showing up and bringing snacks or helping to set up the Pinewood Derby track. And that can be, it can depend on the circumstance, on the situation, and on the person. So if they came and helped set up the Pinewood Derby track, maybe a big cheer saying thank you at the end of the race, or calling out and saying thank you to this parent who did this for our pack during a pack meeting. It doesn't always have to be a big formal ceremony. And in the presentations and ceremonies online, we have a wide range of those things. We have cheers, we have chants, we have yells, we have very formal, serious ceremonies, we have installation ceremonies, we have recognition ceremonies. But it's important to realize that building that positive reinforcement for our adult volunteers and leaders and our parents is really, really important. And if you come up with a little something that you can give them that says thank you, like a little jar of Cub Scout spirit, or a little button or something that you do that just shows how appreciative you are that you also took that extra time like they did in volunteering and saying thank you, that can go just as far as a big formal presentation or ceremony. But taking the time to really say thank you, be grateful
Yeah, and
for
I
those.
think that's so important. Cindy and I were talking about this yesterday. Um, it's so important to thank people and to be so grateful for because we all know what it's like to be a super busy parent running like crazy pants, right? And the fact that they're willing to, it's so cheerfully, most of them, to step in and do a station. And I always make sure I thank them then. I thank them with an email afterwards. I might text them. I always hope I come off as being very grateful for everyone's help, their support. And then when the person steps up to be the committee chair, to do an installation for a committee chair or an installation for a den leader, to tell people that you selected this person, right? You selected this person and they are the best candidate for this job because of these reasons, and you thank them. It doesn't have to be long, but it makes an impression on other people. These positions are important. You selected the best person, not the only person that would step up. The person that was the best candidate, and you were so grateful for them. And I think thanking people is very, very, very important. All right. So now we've got the installation scripts. We're thanking our adults. We've got to know our adults. What else do we got? What else do we have?
So our fifth resolution, and I think that this is I think this one's the most important one. I was wrong. I thought the first one was
the most important.
No, this one. They're all the most important one. So our fifth resolution is remember that Cub Scouting is more than just advancement. It has to be fun. We want to make sure that we're bringing the fun to everything that we do, that we're having fun with our Cub Scouts, that our adults are having fun and participating. And so utilize those fun and games activities that are on the website. And it is awesome because they're searchable. So you can go through and you can search by rank, you can search by number of people, you can search by indoor, outdoor, you can put in exactly what you need, and it's easy and simple. Fun, simple, and easy, Tamara.
I know. Where have we heard that before? I don't know.
Right? But make sure that you're including those games, those activities when you have time down. It doesn't always have to go towards earning something for an adventure or for a rank. It should just be fun too. Make sure that we're having fun.
I agree. And I know Marshall, because he's in the audience, he and his wife, Sarah, they talk about this game. I don't even know if this is what it's really called in the game. I need to find this up. They call it Flip Cup. And apparently they found it when they had their den deck, and it was one of the games in their den deck. And their pack loves it so much that every time they're like, we're going to play a game, they're like, Flip Cup. And they all want to play this game. And it just, so that's, the kids love it, right? So I think the games are a lot of fun. There's a lot of different kinds in there. Again, we're adding to those as well.
So there's something really cool. So I don't know if anybody who's watching or listening has ever heard of the viral 6-7 thing that,
I mean, who hasn't heard of that?
right? It's a thing right now, and we can fight it or we can embrace it. So let's embrace it and let's work it into Cub Scouting somehow. So at Seabase, one of the things that we heard from a couple of volunteers was talking about how their Cub Scouts would bring it up, and how could we incorporate that into some kind of an activity that reinforced Cub Scouting. So we're turning that into a game, and it's going to be up on the website coming up soon, that website. So it's the 6-7 game. Basically, it's kind of a relay race. So there are 6 Cub Scout essentials, and there are 7 leave no trace principles. And so your Cub Scouts are going to break up into their small groups, and they're going to race to pull out their 6 essentials from a pile of assorted random things that you have. And they're going to race to put their 7 leave no trace principles in order. And the winning team that gets all 6 essentials and 7 leave no trace principles gets to yell out 6-7, and everybody gets to join in, and it'll be lots of fun. But at the same time, it'll reinforce that the 6 Cub Scout essentials and the 7 leave no trace principles. That's
so
one excellent example of crowdsourcing, and an excellent reason why Tamara and Neelish and the whole Cub Scouting committee is really hoping that you guys join us at Seabase next December.
Or at least send us your great ideas, because you guys have got so many amazing ideas. It always blows my mind when I go on and see all the awesome stuff that you're doing. I mean, just unbelievably cool stuff. So Kim says we had so many 6-7 Pine Point Derby cars this year. I bet, Kim. Rusty says that his youngest said the whole 6-7 craze is over, at least at his school. LOL. Well, we'll
Lucky.
see, Rusty. It seems like it's still going on in the rest of the country. It may not ever end. I'm not sure. There'll be something new. There'll be something new that takes over that space, and we'll have to come up with a new game once that happens, right?
We'll never stop. We'll keep going.
Absolutely. So that's our top 5, and I didn't hear from other people what their different ones are. So if you still are thinking about what your New Year's resolutions, love to hear it. I know we're a couple minutes over, but it's been so much fun talking to you, Sydney. Do you have any last words of wisdom?
Do your best. That's my New Year's resolution. And I really hope that all of you just really do your best, give yourselves some grace, give yourselves the ability to try, and you might surprise yourself. It might work out even better than you imagined.
And I know I kind of like, I'm going to wrap it up by saying, I missed you guys so much when we went to Seabase, and we missed that week. And then we had the holidays hit, and we missed you then. And then Brent's Bangladeshi ambassador thing happened, which was very odd and not expected. And I missed you guys, and we value you so much. And when we had a meeting of the whole committee this week, and we always talk about you, the leaders, the people who are truly the heroes in the Cub Scout program. And we value each of you, and we thank you so much for how awesome you are. And we're inspired by you. Every time you share something, every time you come on to Cub Chat Live and you participate, we are inspired always by you. And we so appreciate you. Right, Sydney? Is that
absolutely? Absolutely.
You guys are
the
rock
Cub Scout
stars.
spirit.
You bring the magic. You bring the Cub Scout spirit, the magic to our program. So we love all of you guys. I hope you have a fabulous week. We look forward to seeing you next week, when we'll tune in for another great show. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm just going to tell you, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up on the 250th birthday. So that'll be coming up soon. They're finalizing all the stuff so that we'll be able to launch that as soon as we're given the go. I want you guys to be the first to know so that you can get your dens earning those patches. Is there another slide? Was there another slide, Brian? Did we miss one? Oh, save the date for next year's conference, December 11th through 13th. I saw a lot of you are from the Northeast, and maybe you're with me on this. There's no better time to get out of Pennsylvania than December 11th through the 13th. It was warm. It was beautiful. I actually was like sweating the last day we were in Seabase. before I got back to the 14-degree weather up here. So it's a little bit of a harsh reality when you return, but it's very nice when you go. So I'm telling you, it's really, Seabase is a great place. The people are wonderful. Amazing, amazing. All right. So bye. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to catch next week's episode, same time, same place. And let us know how we're doing at go.scoutingmagazine.org/rate-cubchat. We love feedback and ideas for new episodes. And you can visit blog.scoutingmagazine.org/cubchatlive for all our past episodes. You can see us live, except it's recorded, but it was live. Okay, see you next week.